Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the Motor Mouth Mystic here, and today we're going to talk about why we should not overly identify with our beliefs, okay, and actually what beliefs cause in the human consciousness. So a few years ago, I went on an ayahuasca retreat, and during that retreat, I had a huge epiphany while I was under the medicine. I came to this realization that the human consciousness is actually one organism. Even though I'm an individual and you're an individual and everybody is living their own individual experience. And I know in the spiritual community, you always hear concepts like we are one, right? But it's literal. We are literally one organism. But the problem is that everyone is fragmented into their own identity and belief system based off of their cultural upbringing and programming. Well, hi there, I'm Cowgirl Christian, and I'm a conservative. I'm also a believer in Jesus, and this is my Bible. And I've had these glasses of perception ever since I can remember, ever since I could walk. And I've had them all my life. Everybody wears the same glasses, right? And everybody talks the same. Everybody views the same things. We believe in family, God, the Bible, Jesus. The rapture is coming. I will tell you that. Okay, I also believe in guns, all right? And nobody's going to take my guns away. I don't want no government coming in and take my guns away and tell me what I can and cannot do. I'll tell you what, the only one who can tell me what I can and cannot do is Jesus, okay? And if anyone tries to tell me that I need to say he is a she and she is a they, whatever, I don't know none of that nonsense. God said there was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, okay? All I gotta say is the rapture is coming, and you don't believe in Jesus, if you don't repent, you're going to hell. I didn't say it. It said right here. Now, we had a falling out with many family members over a lot of things in regards to religion and politics. We got certain family members who aren't coming to the family junctions anymore because they decided they wanted to be a transgender woman. And I said, I don't buy that. That ain't right. I do believe God is love. God is love. I do believe that. But I don't believe that they right for all that. This is just the way things have always been ever since we stepped foot in this country, you know. We have our beliefs in Jesus, and Jesus is the way. And if you don't believe that, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You're gonna burn. I do have a family member. Her name is Lizzy. She goes on the TikTok as Lizzy The Liberal. And she's just spreading all kinds of propaganda. I don't know what's gotten into her. She went to that big old college, and I don't know what happened. It's like she started getting brainwashed or something. Well, we just pray for people like that, you know. We just got to pray for them. I mean, we might pray for you, but, you know, gossip around the town about you ain't going to stop because you embarrassing the family. Oh, you're going to interview her too? She's here? Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that because I can't stand around for all this. Y'all have a good time with all that. Hi, I'm Lizzy The Liberal, and I'm an artist. I grew up in a small town, but I always felt like I didn't belong. As you can see, these are my glasses of perception. I've had these, ever since I can remember. And as you can see, they're kind of different, kind of quirky, kind of artistic, kind of like me. And so I decided to leave my small town and move to a bigger city area. I moved to the city and I ended up finding my people. I found other artists and also like-minded, liberal people. So I believe that love is love. It doesn't matter, if it's a guy and a guy, a girl or a girl, whatever you're into, you know, it is all love, period. And I also think, if you want to be a transgender woman, girl, slay, because, I'm gonna call you a girl because that's what you are. And if I meet anybody or know anybody who comes out that they don't believe in that, if you can't get on the bandwagon, boo, you're a bigot. That's just one thing I cannot stand about conservative people is that, they're so mean. They're so mean and cruel, and they're judgmental, and they judge you based off of your beliefs. I don't even care if you're family. I've had to cut out so many family members from my life because they didn't believe in the same things that I believe in. They were more on the conservative side, and I found out that they didn't believe in transgenderism. They weren't going to call a transgender woman a woman. It's so disrespectful, and so, you're such a bigot. That's why I had to cut them all out. But I believe in one love. You know, you should love everybody, period. So imagine, if you will, this is, let's say, your little world in the color red, right? That's your little world. That's you, right? Let's do this. You. Okay, and there's other ones that are kind of similar to you. They got little pinks and red hues, right? And then you got some people who are also green, okay? We got some green folks in the building. I don't know, maybe you identify as green. Who's green? I'm kind of olive complected myself. Okay, and so we also have some blue individuals, okay? We got some blue people in the building, okay? So with all these individuals, right, like they're all different. They're living their own belief systems, right? And they all feel like their world is the only world. And that, you know, anyone who tries to come up against that belief system is a danger to their identity, right? But what they don't really realize is that we're all collectively one organism. That's us, literally. The reason why it doesn't feel like we're one is because we're all fragmented in our beliefs and identity. Identity plus belief equals dogma, okay? And what dogma represents is a belief that is set in stone. This is the truth. These are the facts. This is the law of the land. And nothing can come against that. It is an absolute truth in that person's perspective. When the truth is, beliefs are not the ultimate truth. We are only seeing a perspective in the lens of reality. So beliefs represent lenses. What we're perceiving, all the data and information that we're digesting and that we're taking in on the daily from our upbringing, we have a tendency to look through our belief systems and see them as ultimate truths instead of realizing that they are merely lenses of our own perception. Beliefs are only lenses. A belief is only a lens into reality from a one perspective. So when you look at it from this perspective, imagine that our collective human consciousness, we are collectively like a schizophrenic person who doesn't realize that they're schizophrenic. So as you see, it's one entity. That's what the human race is. We are one organism, right? And look, we have all these different colors within the one, right? So look at it like this. Let's say this represents like a schizophrenic person, okay? And the schizophrenic person has different personalities inside themselves. That's exactly what we are as a collective consciousness. We have become so fragmented in ourselves and so stuck in our belief systems, and we are identifying with it so heavily that we have made it to where we are all set apart from one another. And although the Christian conservative cowgirl and Lizzy the Liberal seem like two completely different people, it's actually two different sides of the same coin. The one thing that they do have in common is that they will stand by their beliefs. They will identify so heavily and die on that hill. So much that they will push family members away. So this next part of our segment, we're going to talk about the Age of Aquarius. So as we step into the Age of Aquarius, although it is a time period of innovation and technological advancement, since it is the early stages of Aquarius energy, we are going through the shadow periods. Now, what are the shadow aspects of Aquarius? It represents the need for community and the sacrifice of the individual needs. Sometimes Aquarius can blend so well into a community because they want to belong so badly. And that's the reason why most people cling to their identities, okay? They cling to their identities for safety. Another shadow element of Aquarius is overly identifying with the community narrative. It's a very much black and white way of thinking and viewing the world. And this is what's caused that schism in our human consciousness. And the third part of Aquarius energy, when it's not in its power and it's in shadow, is bigots and narrow-minded thinking. No matter how progressive you think you are, you might not be that progressive if you're fighting with your neighbor based off of the identity politics. Even if you say that you're not a religious person, you might, let's say, break away from religion, for example. But then you end up jumping into another cult called politics, right? It's the same prison, it's a different altar. So now that we've talked about the shadow elements of Aquarius, whenever we finally break out of that illusion, right? We break out of the illusion of separateness from one another. Sometimes our belief systems that we identify with so strongly can cause an illusion over our eyes where we're not able to see the love in front of us, which is our neighbor, our friends, our family. So I do believe that the true age of Aquarius is whenever we can set aside our differences and see each other with eyes of love. Because when it comes down to it, we're all one organism. Like, how would you feel if you realized, like, the person next door, as much as you might not really like them, they're actually a part of yourself, an aspect of yourself that you actually are suppressing? That's called shadow work, okay? But that's on another topic. So to get to the light aspects, we're going to break through the illusions of these weird models and dogmas that we've created. Whether it's a religion or political, it's all the same ballpark. It's all the same playing field. So the light attributes of Aquarius is individuality despite community standards, right? Despite what the community says. So let's say, for instance, you identify as, like I said, like liberal Lizzy, but then she has her own little thoughts and views, you know, that stand her apart from that crowd. It's like, instead of seeing, oh, well, you identify as this, and so therefore that is what you are, we're actually meant to be more liminal and open, right? Because not one person is the same. So it's the power to stand in individuality and not conform to culture around us, and no longer seeing black and white, but gray in between. That is the true empowering aspect of Aquarius, is the ability to see the foggy gray in between. And of course, innovation and humanitarianism. This is true humanitarianism, is to be able to look at somebody who is different and still love them. And you don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to adopt anything that I've said. Just ask yourself this one question. Why do you believe the things that you believe? Who taught you what to believe? And do I believe it? Or am I just going along with things because I want to feel like I belong? Take what resonates, burn what doesn't, and if it pissed you off, maybe look there first. So that concludes the video for today. If this resonated, feel free to like and comment, subscribe, and yeah, just comment down below any other kind of discussions you want to talk about, because I'm totally open, dude. Alright, so ciao.